More home care agency owners are hiring remote administrative assistants than ever before. And if you are watching this, you are probably wondering, can a remote person actually handle the complexity of home care admin? The short answer is yes. But let me show you exactly what that looks like in practice, because it is probably different from what you are imagining. I'm Jeff, CRO and co-founder of ClearDesk. We've placed remote admin staff with home care agencies across the US, and I want to walk you through why this shift is happening, what a remote admin actually does day to day, and how to know if the person you're considering is actually qualified for home care specifically. Let's start with why agencies are making this move in the first place. The first reason is cost. A local in-house admin hire costs between $55,000 and $75,000 per year before you factor in benefits, payroll taxes, office space, and equipment. A dedicated remote admin through ClearDesk starts at $2,500 per month. That's $30,000 per year. The difference, up to 60% savings, is real money that stays in your agency. For a home care operation running on tight margins, that gap changes what growth looks like. The second reason is availability. A local hire who works 9 to 5 is not available at 6 in the morning when a caregiver calls out sick. A remote admin working your agency's hours is the scheduling emergencies in home care don't happen between 10 and 2. They happen early, they happen late, and they happen when you least expect them. A remote admin built around your operating hours is available for the moments that actually matter. The third reason is specialization. The best remote admin candidates for home care are not generalists who happen to be available. They are trained specifically in home care operations. Software systems like AccessCare, WellSky, and HHA Exchange, HIPAA compliance, EVV requirements, and the scheduling urgency that's specific to this industry. That specialization is what makes the difference between a remote hire that works and one that creates more problems than it solves. Now, let me walk you through what a remote home care admin actually does on a typical day, because this is where most people's doubts either get resolved or get confirmed. 7 in the morning, the remote admin logs into AccessCare or WellSky and pulls up the full schedule for the day. They're looking at every shift, every caregiver, every client. They flag open shifts that still need coverage. They identify caregivers who haven't confirmed their start time. They send morning confirmation messages to every caregiver starting a shift, not a mass notification, individual messages with the client name, address, and start time. By 7:30, they have a complete picture of the day, and they've already resolved anything that was sitting unaddressed from the night before. 8 in the morning, a caregiver calls out. This is the call that used to ruin your morning. Here's what happens when a trained remote admin owns this. The caregiver calls the admin directly. The admin updates the system immediately. They pull the coverage list ranked by availability, proximity, and client match, and start working down it. Text first follow-up call if no response within 10 minutes. Every contact attempt is documented in the system. When the replacement is confirmed, the schedule gets updated and the client family gets notified. The agency owner finds out about it in the end of day recap, not in the middle of the scramble. Mid-morning through afternoon, the admin screens new caregiver applicants who came in overnight, filters for experience and availability, and schedules interviews for the following week. They verify credentials on the candidates who look right. They follow up on billing authorizations that are still pending. They update client records with any new information that came in. Everything that touches a client record is handled in full compliance with HIPAA, stored correctly, shared only through appropriate channels, documented properly. End of day. The admin sends the agency owner a written recap. Here's what was completed, here's what was flagged and why. Here's what's pending for tomorrow. The owner reads it in 5 minutes and responds to anything that actually needs their input. That is the full management interaction for the day. One of our clients, a home care agency owner managing 40 caregivers, was handling all of her own admin when we first spoke. Scheduling, recruiting, billing follow-up, client communication, all of it herself. Within the first month of bringing on a ClearDesk remote admin, she got back more than 25 hours a week, not by doing less, by having someone trained and dedicated to the work she had been absorbing entirely on her own. Now, let me address the three objections I hear from almost every home care owner who is considering this. The first one is, will they understand the urgency of home care? Yes, if they are trained specifically in home care before placement. A generalist VA who has handled calendars and inboxes for a marketing agency will not understand what it means when a caregiver calls out 90 minutes before a shift. A ClearDesk scheduling VA will. The difference is entirely in the vetting and training process. This is not a general admin role. It requires someone who has been prepared for home care specifically. The second objection is, what about the time zone? Remote admins work the agency's hours. The outsourcing economy in the Philippines is built entirely around US time zones. It is completely standard practice. And every candidate we place has a confirmed track record of maintaining US hours, not just a willingness to try. The third objection is, what if they make a mistake with a client? Every ClearDesk remote admin is HIPAA compliant and trained in home care protocols before their first day. But beyond the training, here's the practical answer. If the placement is not the right fit, we replace them. That's built into how we work. And for new clients, there's a 7-day money-back guarantee. So what does a good remote home care admin actually look like? Here are the 5 things that matter when you're evaluating any candidate. Home care software knowledge. They should know Access Care, WellSky, or HHAE Exchange before they start. Second, HIFI compliance training. This is non-negotiable for anyone who will touch client records. Third, US hours availability with a confirmed track record. Fourth, English fluency at a professional level, strong enough to have a real conversation with a stressed family member. And fifth, home care specific experience. Scheduling experience in a care setting is categorically different from general admin experience. It shortens your onboarding time significantly. At ClearDesk, we screen for all 5 of these. Our acceptance rate is less than 0.5%. Out of every 200 applicants, 1 makes it through our talent assurance protocol. We've served more than 2,000 business owners, and our client satisfaction rate is 4.9 out of 5. The people we place are vetted, trained, and ready for home care from day 1. If you want to see what this looks like for your agency specifically, book a call with our team at the link in the description. Thanks for watching. If this was useful, like and subscribe for more.